everyone, and welcome to an all-new episode of Palace Off the Top Rope. Thank you so much for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. And on deck for today's ASMR-themed episode. Yeah, you heard that right, ASMR. It's something that I've been watching a lot of on YouTube and TikTok. I'm late to the TikTok party, but I'm very addicted now, and I stumbled across an ASMR feed, and I've subscribed to a couple of people that specifically do just that. And I gotta tell you, it's one of the most relaxing things ever. Helps me go to sleep almost every night. Not that I have trouble sleeping, but definitely does help. A majority of the time I can knock out within 5 minutes just listening to somebody do ASMR. So hopefully this episode is relaxing and soothing for you. Or if you don't just get it at all, you could just skip this entire episode. Because you're like, why do you want to hear somebody whisper for an entire, however long it is that I'm going to go? Probably an hour. But before I get into catching you guys up on everything that I've been doing in the month of April so far, because it's been a while since I've done an episode, and every time I'm gone or haven't done an episode, it feels like it's been years and years, but it's only been a couple of weeks, and a couple of stuff has happened, and stuff is currently happening right now as we march toward Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, opening in theaters on May 6th. But before we get into all that, I do want to pour myself a little beverage. Usually I have one on already when I'm doing an episode, or if I have a co-host like Brandon McLaughlin, usually brings me a drink from Smoothie King, and it's always delicious, tasty, so appreciate that. Shout out to him. But I'm gonna pour myself a drink here real quick. It's not alcohol, calm down. It's a Diet Dr. Pepper. I gotta work tomorrow, so I can't indulge in the liquid courage or the bubbly, as Chris Jericho would say. Just for the taste of it. Diet Coke. Remember those commercials? I forgot the actor who played Alfred in Batman 1989 with Michael Keaton. But if you purchase the VHS copy, which I don't know anybody that owns VHS anymore except me, but if you do still own your physical copies, pop in Batman 1989, you'll see that badass Diet Coke commercial, and it's got the actor who plays Alfred in there, and sounds are soothing whenever he's pouring the drink and actually tasting the Diet Coke, even though I'm drinking a Diet Dr. Pepper. Same thing, same effect. What's been going on, guys? Box office has been pretty okay for the month of April. A little bit underwhelming, starting with Morbius, which kind of just completely tanked. And then came Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which did really good numbers already, outgrossing the original, I believe. Don't know where it stands right now, but it definitely did open higher than the first movie, so that's already a huge success. You'll get my review later on in the show. A couple of movies that I've seen, and some that I'm still waiting to see, like The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent with Nicolas Cage and Pedro Pascal. Still need to see Father Stew with Mark Wahlberg and Mel Gibson. We've had quiet little gems, surprises at the box office, like Everything Everywhere All at Once. Another movie you'll get my review on later on in the show. And then we've had movies or sequels that just came and went. Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore, I'm Talking to You. Yeah. Opened up very poorly. 40 million. Any other original movie, that's great, but for a movie like this, a third movie in a franchise, it's terrible. First one did like 70 some million. Second one down to 62. Now this one 40 million. And it already dropped to number 3 at the box office. So it was number 1 last week. And it dropped down to number 3, which means Sonic has gained on it. So currently right now the number 1 movie in America is the Bad Guys. It's an animated feature from DreamWorks Pictures. 24 million. You know, no big deal, but hey, it's something original. It's not a sequel. We need more family-friendly content, as there's not that much kids' movies as of late, other than Sonic the Hedgehog. Which is crazy because before Sonic, the last kids' movie was Sing 2, and that was back in December. December, folks. We're in April already. That's a crazy amount of months to go by with no kids' films in the theater, so it's nice to see the families back out and about for these movies. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, obviously the bigger of the two, but still not too shabby for the Bad Guys. 24 million, number 1 at the box office. Sonic number 2. Fantastic Beasts dipping to number 3. That one's probably dead and gone. But the surprise continues to be Everything Everywhere All at Once. As I mentioned so many times on this podcast, I work at a movie theater, and the shows are almost instantly sold out. I mean, granted, we don't have it in the biggest of theaters, but still doing great numbers. Another smaller movie that came out this past weekend, The Northman, from director Robert Eggers, who's done movies like The Witch and The Lighthouse, which are a little bit more on the weird side, a little bit more of my speed, but it's nice to see that these movies have built up some reputation, so there's been a crowd for The Northman as well. Again, we don't have it playing in our biggest auditoriums, but in the auditoriums that we do have it in, the shows do incredibly well. And again, that's great. That's great for original films. People are out supporting these movies, and not just the big blockbusters, which we know those are never going to go away. But as long as people continue to come and watch movies like Everything Everywhere All at Once and The Northman, and even a movie like Father Stew, which it's got big stars in it like Mark Wahlberg and Mel Gibson, but it was very low financed. It's a more Christian based film. Had only a budget of like $4 million. It's already outgrossed that, so it's overperformed, and that's pretty good. And that bodes well for movies like that. If that's your taste, I know there's a lot of people that don't give Christian faith-based movies a lot of chances. But if you can add stars like Mark Wahlberg and Mel Gibson to it, it makes it a bit more interesting for the audience out there, as opposed to watching one of those where there's no one that you recognize from those movies. Also want to try to snack on some stuff too. Got some chips here. Again, I've never eaten on the air, so I don't know how this is going to sound. Snacking and talking about movies. No better combination for me, while doing it in ASMR format. Super soothing and relaxing. Again, I'm super late to the party on TikTok and stuff, but there's a lot of neat, avenues you could dive in on. And I happened to stumble across somebody on there who does ASMR, and ended up following them. And it led to a whole bunch of other, feeds that have people doing ASMR. And again, it's just so soothing and relaxing. Gets the tingles going too. So, simple stuff like whispering or the sound of people eating or whatever. There's ASMR on people getting their hair cut, and it's just the sounds of like spray bottles and scissors, just little things like that. I don't know, I'm weird, so And again, the most important thing about it is that it's so soothing, and the fact that it helps me fall asleep so quick. So every night I'll throw on TikTok on an ASMR live feed. There's always somebody live doing this, and they do it to like the late hours of the night, which, you know, if you know me personally, I'm a night owl, so I'm always online or up, so it takes me forever to go to sleep sometimes. But if I throw that on, which I have been over the last couple of weeks, I fall asleep almost instantaneously. So good job by those people that do ASMR for just like as their specialty. You know, I'm not an expert or anything like that. And again, this is just an experiment for me. I'm just fucking around on here, but it's soothing, it's relaxing. Yeah, what's going on this week in the world of entertainment? Cinemacon's going on right now. They're showcasing stuff that's upcoming and stuff that's about to be released in movie theaters. Streaming has kind of taken a little bit of a hit, which, you know, I don't like to celebrate stuff of downfalls or whatever, but I'm a movie theater guy. Not only because I work at one, but I've always enjoyed that as the avenue of experiencing movies. You know, Netflix losing subscribers and all that stuff. It's like, you know, people are returning to the movie theaters. Like, our theater has been pretty consistent on having people in our building like all day and all night, at least on the weekends. It's nice to see. So again, Cinemacon's going on right now. So you have like different studios presenting their stuff. I think today Warner Brothers Discovery, which by the way they merged with Discovery, so now it's Warner Brothers Discovery. So they got their stuff going on right now. They showed off photos of Greta Gerwig's Barbie. They're going to do a live adaptation of the Barbie movie. So there's pictures out right now, or one picture I should say, of Margot Robbie and the title character as Barbie. So you can check that out online. Again, I love me some Margot Robbie. I gotta say, definitely top 3 of my favorite actresses today, if not my favorite. So I can't wait for that. They showed off previews of Black Adam, which is coming later in October. Remember, that got pushed. It was supposed to be a summer release, but I knew the moment they announced moving that they were gonna, either the movie's probably not good, so they're probably doing a bunch of reshoots. And I know reshoots are normal, but if you have to move a movie back a couple of months, it's probably because of that. They showed stuff of The Flash, but apparently it was a lot of Batman stuff, because as we all know, or if you keep up with your news, Ezra Miller continues to get arrested in Hawaii, just giving himself bad PR and putting Warner Brothers in a bind here. But that movie doesn't come out till next year, so they've got a little bit of breathing room to get Ezra Miller back on track, or if he just continues to be an idiot and get in trouble, they're just going to replace him altogether. But I think a lot of the focus on the Flash presentation at Cinemacon was on Batman, Michael Keaton returning, and at some point Ben Affleck's Batman's also going to appear in that movie. So that's going to be the big sell of the Flash movie, is this whole Batman thing. And again, my idea is like just scrap Ezra Miller, scrap the Flash, and just call the movie Batman Generations. People, it'll still make $300 million because it's freaking Batman, the best character in all of movie comic book characters. So it's gonna be okay. But for some reason, I still think we're not gonna see that movie ever because of this idiot Ezra Miller who continues to get in trouble. I mean, come on. What else is going on at Warner Brothers? They greenlit officially the next Matt Reeves directed Batman starring Robert Pattinson, which we all knew was going to happen. It wasn't a shock. This movie has made over $360 million in the U.S. and I think another almost $400 million internationally. So you're looking at almost $800 million worldwide, almost $1 billion. Yeah, they're not going to make a sequel to that, right? But yet you still have these Twitter geeks online who are like, You know they were gonna make a sequel to this movie. It was critically beloved. It made all the money in March. And it just debuted on HBO Max after making all that money. And it was still, like, generating, like, so many views. I think, like, 4.3 million streamed the Batman on HBO Max. So, it's a win-win for Warner Brothers Discovery, making all the massive amounts of money in the movie theater, and now reaping the benefits on streaming after only 45 days. Now, not all movies are going to benefit from this. The Batman's an exception to the rule, because it's freaking Batman. But, other people, once they see this model, and this is the only thing that scares me about the 45-day window, is that they see how quickly that it showed up on streaming. And even for me, I was like, oh, I totally forgot about the 45-day window. So the Batman being on HBO Max already is, like, to me, it's like super quick. But it made so much money at the theaters, like, it didn't matter. But for other movies, people might be like, well, I might wait. Maybe I'll just catch it at home. Won't spend $15 on a ticket for, like, whatever. The Nun 3. Just watch it at home. But, again, that's my only fear, but I think we'll be okay. Cinemacon's going on all week. It's something I've always dreamed about going. Especially in the movie theater business, all the movie theater people go, like all the top brass, but it's been my dream to always go. And hopefully, if I continue my career here in this business, I hope to one day be able to go, because I guarantee you, there is nobody who loves movies more than me. I promise you that. I'll take that to the bank. I'll be arrogantly confident about that. Nobody loves movies as much as me. So that's going on right now. And again, movie-wise, this weekend, it's gonna be another quiet weekend. It's the calm before the storm, right? We're a week out before Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which, whatever, I'm gonna watch it, but it's gonna make huge bank, I know that. But this weekend, we got another Liam Neeson movie, which I feel like we just had one a month ago, or a month and a half ago, which we did. It's called Blacklight. Now this one's called Memory. It's the same shit. I mean, Liam Neeson, get your money, whatever. If he's doing it just for the paycheck, good for him. But at this point, he's just like typecasting himself. I know he's older already, but, still, he's gonna have no one to blame but himself, as everybody just sees him as that one guy, the Taken guy. All those movies are the same. Anyways, that movie comes out this weekend. It's not gonna do anything. The people that do like those movies are gonna go see it, so whatever. It has a small audience, but this movie would have played well in the pandemic when there was nothing coming out, but now we have bigger movies. There's a lot of alternative stuff out there that people can actually watch. They'll rewatch Sonic. We still got the Batman on the big screen, so people will come still see that. Or they'll discover the new stuff like Everything Everywhere All at Once and the Northman. And hopefully the Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent gains some steam. Again, I still need to go see that one, so hopefully I'll catch that in a bit. Same thing for Father Stew. Taking a little drink here again. I don't know what that was. That's just me being dumb. Again, ASMR. Just search it up. I don't really know how to explain it. Just search it on YouTube. There's plenty of it to go around. I promise you can search it on anything. And then if you're on the TikTok, there's a lot of it on there too. It's very soothing and relaxing for me, and I thought, why don't I just try a whole episode and just get it out of the way? Because I've been curious about it. I was like, fuck it, I'll just do it. Whether it sounds good or not, or professional, I don't care. I'm just gonna try it and go for it. I'm just gonna try stuff on this podcast. Stuff may stick, stuff may not. Whatever. I'm having fun doing it. One last thing before we go to break here. A lot of stuff on TV that's coming back that's gaining my interest. I already mentioned to you guys about Atlanta, which has just been killing it this season. Like, killing it. Reinvest in your hood. They just had or just the whole season, man. Every week, it's must see. They're all-timers. They're thinkers. They're episodes that you're gonna look back on and just be in amazement of all the stuff that show's trying to say and tell you. I'm telling you, if you've never seen Atlanta, and it just pokes a lot at the social commentary in today's world, but it does it in a very comedic, sometimes horrific way, in a surreal way sometimes. It's my favorite television show. Like, it is prestige, it is top-notch. It's up there with The Sopranos and The Breaking Bads and The Twin Peaks. It's on that type of level. Better Call Saul is back. It's loading up on my DVR. I don't have Netflix, and I know all the other seasons are on there, so I may have to just bite the bullet, get Netflix, and try to catch up. And I don't know if the last season, this upcoming last season that's airing for Better Call Saul, I don't know if that's been split into two, or if it's just going to air straight out to the end. But I do need to catch up. I'm way behind on that one. This Is Us is also loaded up on my DVR. Scratching my mustache there. Whatever. Yeah, that's loading up on my DVR. That one's gonna end soon in a couple of weeks, so I need to catch up there. Of course, I've got my shows that are just comfort shows, like A Million Little Things, which is it's kind of dipped in quality, but I can still enjoy it. I like the characters on that show. Obviously, I continue to watch wrestling week to week. You know, WWE, I'll give them credit. You know, they're putting on some decent shows. Having Cody Rhodes back in WWE has really helped a lot as far as, like, retaining my viewership. AEW, of course, knocking it out of the park. I'm not worried about them. But yeah, that's the stuff I'm watching on TV right now, and yeah, I think I've caught up to where we're at now as far as, like, the week of releases and stuff like that. So let's take a break here. When we come back, I'll give you my reviews on two movies that I've seen, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and Everything Everywhere All at Once. So stick around. This is the ASMR themed episode of Palace Off the Top Rope. We'll be right back.
I'm the bad man. Have been for a long time.
Your shooter's losing his mind.
They have to be punished. I want justice.
He's taking out the traffickers that we couldn't.
You said he wasn't a problem.
I know you're not well.
We all have to die. What's important is what you do before you go.
Memory. Rated R.
Welcome back to the show. Adrenaline in my soul. It's an ASMR episode. Whoa. My tribute again to Cody Rhodes. Again, he's been the most fun part of being back in WWE and continuing to watch that. So thank you, Cody, for coming back. Hopefully great things continue to happen for you there and they book you correctly. But that's a subject for another time. As I mentioned, this is an ASMR themed episode, so yes, I'm like whispering through this entire thing, so bear with me if you're not used to this or don't find this interesting at all. You can just skip this whole episode because I'm not going to stop. It's just going to be like this the entire episode. But now it's time for my movie reviews of the week. And I know these movies have been out for a couple of weeks, but again, I haven't done an episode in a while, so I'm just trying to catch you up for the viewer, just in case you haven't, if you're still on the fence about seeing some of this stuff. Not that you need me to convince you, but sometimes it helps. Sometimes, just to hear another opinion out there. I think I'm pretty unbiased and, fair when it comes to movie critiquing. I do like to poke fun at the comic book people, but that's more just, I like to poke at the fan base, not really the movies themselves. Like, yeah, I critique those movies, like, fairly, but I also like a chunk of them, so, miss me with that stuff about, like, oh, you just hate comic book movies. No, I don't. I hate the fandoms that just get all obsessive about it, and I just try to keep it a level playing field. if you can, just go away. Or, scroll up, scroll past the timeline, whatever. Just go be a mark for your little MCU stuff and enjoy the stuff that you like. But anyways, let's talk about my first movie that I saw. Obviously, this came at the beginning of April. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which I had just recently bought the first Sonic movie on 4K. They released this special edition. It had comic book and character cards, and again, I bought this without actually having seen the movie. But I know my kiddos like the first one, so I'm like, okay, well, if I don't like it, at least I can have them keep the movie or have them take it home and whatever. Even though they stream everything, so to them, I may give them a 4K disc and they'll be like, what's this? We're almost there, folks. We are almost there in terms of this stuff completely going away. Again, I'm very old school. I collect all my movies physically, and I will continue to do so until they don't make them anymore. But until then, that's how I'm going to buy them. But yeah, I bought that recently, so I hadn't seen it. And my daughters were here a couple weeks ago, and I was like, now this is the perfect time to go watch it, because I know they're going to want to see the second one. So I saw the first one, and man, I really liked it. Jim Carrey's like that old school movie star, and he still got it. He still got that Jim Carrey-isms, and he does it so well. And it's like he hasn't lost a step. So he was part of the biggest reason why that movie works so well. The Sonic character's cool and all, but you need a movie star to really have charisma and carry the whole thing, and Jim Carrey does that. Now, the movie wasn't very loaded with action and, stuff like that you would see in the video games. So they kind of undersold that. But nonetheless, it was still a nice, family-friendly movie. Let me take a sip here. Sorry, my throat was getting a little itchy there. Yeah, so the first movie's fun. Is it the best movie in the world? No, but it's good enough for an adaptation. And usually they get these movies wrong, right? Name me video game movies. I bet you can't name me 5 that are good, much less 1. And I think Sonic kind of broke the barrier on that. So I'm like, okay, cool. At least there's goodwill going into the second movie. And again, the first one came out before the pandemic hit, so it was kind of the last big blockbuster before this new world. So I was expecting big numbers for it. Obviously, it opened huge. So one of my daughters was sick the weekend that they came over, that the new one came out. But the little one wasn't, so we had a father-daughter date. So we went to go catch Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And boy, man, this is not hyperbole when I say this is the Dark Knight of video game movies. It really stepped it up in its action and the presentation. The movie felt bigger, and it finally leaned into the video game aspect of things. So it's, in a way, in hindsight, it's kind of good that the first movie undersold the action and all the spectacle of it, because you can leave it for the second movie and you bring in all these other characters, these beloved characters from the video games, and kind of make it an all-star game. You got Tails and Knuckles, and again, everybody else is back too. James Marsden's back, Jim Carrey, hamming it up. Not really the focal in the first movie. He's more the focal point. This one, he's kind of just there in the background, but whenever he's on screen, he obviously uses the most of his time and he eats up the scenery. Knuckles, the character that they introduce here, is kind of an antagonist, but we all know in the video games he becomes an ally. Is voiced by Idris Elba. What a choice, right? And what a career decision for him to voice this. But you could tell he's totally into it, so that makes the movie work as well. Now, I don't know who voiced Tails, but for sure, that person did well in that character too. And again, the movie's over 2 hours too, so again, the movie goes bigger in the mythology of the video games, and again, the movie's just very fun, and I obviously saw it in a theater full of kids, and parents taking their kids. My daughter enjoyed the hell out of it. She can't wait for the next one. And it left me feeling the same way too. It's like, man, I can't wait for part 3. And this is a freaking video game movie. Like, it's a kids movie. How often in a kids franchise do you like anticipate a third movie? Like, I know they make sequels like crazy for these cartoons and kids movies, but when was the last time like you like anticipated like a third movie? I know they made Toy Story 3, but we never thought we would get a Toy Story 3. That one just came out of nowhere. But yeah, Sonic 3 has, it's got the laughs, it's got the pop culture references, it's bigger in spectacle with the action, so it delivers on that, and it makes the movie feel bigger. And again, I'm not a prisoner of the moment. This is the Dark Knight of video game movies, and they're about to do a Mario Brothers movie again. Now, they had a live action one in the 90s, that one sucked, but they're gonna do this one again. Man, they really should go the route of doing the way they've done the Sonic movies, where you have the main title character animated and the other video game characters animated, and you mix it in with live action, and you have movie stars like a Jim Carrey to play the villain, and James Marsden's a nice like addition just to, you know, have people there, but he's a character you care about. And I know Mario, they're gonna go more of just doing animated, but man, and I'm not saying that it's gonna be bad or anything, like who knows, could end up being good, but I think the way to go is to mix in the live action and the animated. To me, like, the play has always been like Disney could do a live action Mickey Mouse movie, but do it like this, and have like the actor be like a Chris Evans or something like that. I think that's real easy money, and Sonic has kind of like created the blueprint on how you can do these movies right and have them be kid friendly, and make a lot of money too. But it's great. It's great for like my daughters, especially the little one, who like when she grows up, when she's my age, she's gonna remember fondly on these movies, like the way I did with the Mighty Ducks and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you know, stuff like that. These are gonna be the movies of her time when she grows up. Like, she'll remember back. Like, these movies weren't made for me, obviously. I can still enjoy them, but they weren't made for me. So, you know, this is more for her generation. So that's cool. But the fact that the movie's actually good is just an A+. So if you haven't seen it, go check out Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Definitely an upgrade from the first movie. Even though the first movie's not bad, but this is like way better. You get everything in it: comedy, action. You get heartfelt moments. There's everything in it, and it's very family friendly. Like, you could take anybody to go see this movie. Yeah, big ups, good job by Paramount. Ooh, by the way, we have to give a shout out to Paramount Pictures. They are killing it this year in the theatrical world. You know, they killed it with Scream, revitalizing that franchise, and they revitalized the Jackass. Jackass Forever. Now, I don't think those guys are going to continue to do movies. Like, they're already getting super up there in age, and, you know, the stunts and all that stuff is dangerous, so I think that was kind of maybe the last one. But the fact that Paramount continues to deliver hits, and now you can add Sonic to the list, they're the big winner so far this year, other than the Batman, so good job by Paramount. I have to add the Lost City to that, you know, Paramount killing it. So that's it for Sonic the Hedgehog. Go see it if you haven't. Next movie is A24's Everything Everywhere All at Once, starring Michelle Yeoh. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. Sorry if I get it wrong. This is a movie that, we'll just say this, it deals with the multiverse. It's such a creative, original story. And there was just too much good buzz going into this movie. I'd seen the trailer like once, but didn't really think anything of it. Like, I guess I should say, really didn't pay attention. But then I started seeing like all the Twitter feeds, like not just like reviews from critics, but just people who had seen it already. And they're like, man, this movie's something special, and it's something cool, something we've never seen before. Now, obviously, we're about to get a real taste of the multiverse with Marvel introducing it. We saw it in Spider-Man No Way Home, and we're about to see it in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. But I gotta tell you, after coming out of this movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once, I 100% believe that whatever Marvel does with the multiverse will neither be as creative or as original as everything that was in this movie. It was just out of world stuff, like weird shit. Exactly my speed. Again, I'm all about that weird stuff, and this movie has a chunk of it. But it's not just weird, it's good, it's funny, it's heartfelt, it's colorful, it's got a lot of imagery in it, and a lot of, visual stuff that's going on, and it's just incredible. The most recognizable face, if you've been following movies forever, is the character of Data from Goonies and Short Round in the Indiana Jones Temple of Doom movie. Like, he's an adult in this movie, but he has an incredible performance here. Like, obviously this is Michelle Yeoh's movie, but he does an incredible job too. Again, I can't explain a lot what the plot is, but I'm telling you, if you want something different, if you want something that's a little out there, go see this movie. You will not be disappointed. You may come out of it saying, what the fuck was that? But I'm telling you, it's an experience that is like to be seen on the big screen. And it was made for the IMAX screen too, which at our theater, we're about to be showing some screenings of this in IMAX. So I actually kind of want to see this one again because it has the aspect ratio change during the movie. Now, for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, if you've ever seen like The Dark Knight, or if you saw the last Mission Impossible movie, Fallout, where there's some sequences that were shot with the IMAX camera, so the picture does change from having the black bars at the top to not having them, and you get the full picture range, and the picture's just beautiful. So I gotta imagine this is gonna look incredible in the IMAX because, again, the visuals in this movie was just awesome. Now, it was meant to be seen in IMAX, so I know it's gonna look a million times better on that screen. So I can't wait to see that one on the IMAX again. Again, the story's a little like, you have to pay attention because there's a lot of stuff going on. But I'm telling you, it's different, it's original, and if you want something like that, this is definitely the movie for you. So 2 good movies so far in April. I still have to go check out Father's 2 and The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. The Northman's not really my thing as far as like subject matter. I know I like weird stuff, but the subject matter too is kind of like, it's not for me. Even though I'm all for original movies, doesn't mean everything is for me. So yeah, that one I'm gonna skip out on. Of course, like whatever memory opens this weekend, I'm not gonna see that. And then in about a week's time, we'll have Doctor Strange come out, and it's gonna be chaotic. And I think on next week's episode, you'll get my box office prediction for it. I'm still scratching my head over it. Like, I don't know, like the marketing for it is incredible. The pre-sales for it are fantastic. Our theater's almost like 3,000 in attendance just for Doctor Strange, so it's gonna be huge. And the movie's not long, folks. That's what's another thing that's gonna factor into this box office prediction, is that Doctor Strange is only at the 2-hour mark. Thank you, Sam Raimi, for not bloating this into another like 2-hour and 40-minute spectacle. God bless. I love the Batman, but it's a little too long. Spider-Man 2, it was also like just over 2.5 hours. Like, why? Sometimes you could tighten it up a bit. And Sam Raimi, who's done the perfect Spider-Man movie in Spider-Man 2, and that one's only over a little over 2 hours. So he's done the same thing here for Doctor Strange. So maybe that'll make the movie a little better. It's not a guarantee, but it's nice to have one of these MCU movies not be 2.5 hours. So again, shorter runtime means more show times at our theater, which means more money for the box office. So that may help its chances to make a lot. ASMR, folks. ASMR. Let's take a break here. When we come back, I'll wrap it up and tell you what's to come on this podcast and stuff that I still need to get started. Yes, I'm talking to myself. The 90s Films Turn 30 series. I'm about to kick that off again for 1992. It's coming, folks. Don't worry. I have not forsaken it. I have not forgotten it. It's just going to be a late start. But I'll talk about all that. Stick around. This is Palace Off the Top Rope, ASMR edition. We'll be right back.
Strange. It's time. 10 days, nothing can prepare you for the truth.
Everything you've ever known led you to this moment.
Stephen Strange.
The Illuminati will see you now.
Marvel Studios, Doctor Strange, rated PG-13, see it in premium large format in IMAX, May 6th.
Welcome back to the show, and Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, opening in theaters May 6th. As that little ad told you, we're about 10 days out, so it's almost here. Another Marvel project that we're all gonna engulf in and talk about and debate, all that stuff. Yeah, I shit on the fans and all that stuff, and I like to troll them, but I do like to see the movies, even though actually, to this day, I still have not seen the first Doctor Strange movie, and yet I still understand everything that's going on. So again, I don't think I have to tune into every little thing going forward now. Like, what's that one that's going on right now on Disney Plus? Moon Knight. I've seen nobody talk about that show, and I have no urge to see it. It feels like I've missed nothing. So whatever. But that's 10 days away. Originally, on the SM Football Marks podcast, we were going to do an episode for the NFL draft, but I got confused on my work schedule, so I'm actually working tomorrow, so we're not going to do an episode for that. So sorry for those of you sports people that were looking forward to that, but we will be back for the schedule release, where they're going to decide what games are going to be played, what days, and times and all that stuff. We're looking forward to that, not only because of our teams, but also because we're looking forward to going to see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Dallas Cowboys in Arlington. So we got to find out when the date is for that game so we can plan, request off from work, and start saving our monies to make that trip. So we'll be doing an episode for the release schedule coming up. I believe May 12th is the release date, so be on the lookout for that. Again, I'm late to start my spin-off series, Season 3 of 90s Films Turn 30. We're covering the 1992 movies. I was supposed to start back in February, and I was supposed to have a special guest for my first episode. Again, there's been some scheduling conflicts that have gotten in the way, but I still plan to have this guest for this movie. I may push it down the line. It doesn't have to be in order, but I will get started soon and catch up and try to release these as they approach their anniversary date. So again, that's totally on me. It's my fault. Not only work and not only doing the regular show and the football stuff, but I gotta get better at my time management with the podcast. So I gotta get on that. So trust me, it's coming. I'm not gonna be definitive and say the exact date episodes are gonna drop, but they may drop out of nowhere without you even knowing about it. So if you're interested in that spin-off series, trust me, it's still there. It's still coming. Season 3 is coming at you real soon. I promise you. But that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you for joining me on this special ASMR themed little project I'm doing here. I'm like Atlanta, do these like weird one-off episodes. I don't know if this does well though. I got somebody who's interested in doing some ASMR, and we can talk about whatever. So be on the lookout for that. This is a one-off for now, but it might not be in the future. There might be another chapter to this to come. But anyways, you can find this podcast on Spotify. Search Palace Off the Top Rope. Hit that follow button. I really appreciate it. I do share this podcast link through all my social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, even TikTok. Through podbean.com. You can download the app. You can listen to it there. You can download all the past episodes. Unless you're an Apple person, then subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Leave me that 5-star review. Leave me, good criticism, bad criticism, whatever, right? Free speech, right? Elon Musk buying Twitter. Had to throw that in there. Whatever. Any type of comments you want to make about this show or me, whatever. That's on me, right? Because I decided to put my voice out there in the world, so I have to be able to compliments that come my way. So, whatever, I'm up for it. If you want to compliment the show, great. If you want to say it's a piece of shit and I shouldn't be doing this, then you're entitled to that too. Doesn't mean I have to like it, but you're entitled to say it. That's what free speech is. So yeah, just subscribe on Apple Podcast. And yeah, all that stuff to come. And again, Doctor Strange is on the horizon. So, and the summer movie season actually is on the horizon. So there'll probably be more episodes week to week. April kind of became a little underwhelming, so I didn't want to make episodes just to make episodes. Again, I don't want to bore you guys. I need to come up with stuff that'll be intriguing for an entire almost hour of conversation, especially if it's just me. So that's why I decided to take this opportunity to do this as an ASMR theme. Again, if you're not into that stuff and just think like, why the fuck is he whispering? Search ASMR, then you'll know what I'm talking about, and then return to the episode or not, whatever. Either way, I appreciate y'all. Thank you guys so much, and thanks for bearing with me as I experiment here with ASMR. I'm gonna go hop on TikTok, watch some more of this, listen to this, and fall asleep. So take it easy, guys. God bless you.